Hey guys, it is Monday here in West Virginia, and it is our first Mopar Monday for the month of November. And today we're looking at a few Hemi Cudas from Greenlight. There were supposed to be 270s and 271s, but after looking at the car in the package that's marked 70, one of them is actually, one of the 70s is actually a 71. Um, and we'll start with that one first. It's this guy here, and this is a 1971, but there's a 1970 Plymouth Barracuda custom hardtop. Now, somebody could have taken a six-cylinder Cuda or 318 Cuda, a 70, and made it into a 71, or any year for that matter, and made it into a 71, but the front clip and such is definitely 71, tail lights and such. And anyways, this car, I'm not a big fan of the wheels that they put on it, but I do like the color combo. And I don't know if any other like B5 blue, it's either B5 blue or a little bit darker blue. Cuda's from Greenlight. It's just kind of a rare color for the Cuda. You see it on some of their B bodies and stuff, but not too many of their E bodies. So this is from the Barry Jackson series, and this is Series 7. And on the back, it does tell us a little bit about the car, which is kind of cool. I like when they add the stories to the car. So the 1970 Plymouth Barracuda custom hardtop. The modern Hemi lettering on this Cuda's clean shaker hints at the 6.1 of modern Hemi power that reside beneath the hood. The $24,000 Street Legend Hemi engine was sourced from Indy Cylinder Head. At the top of the professionally assembled engine, dual Edelbrock 4-barrel carburetors flowing 600 CFM each dump air and fuel into a lightweight aluminum intake. The drivetrain pushes a full XV racing suspension that cages quietly Hyperco coilovers and beefy sway bars. Hydratech boosted bare calipers cinch quartet, of drilled and slotted rotors to manage speed. Inside the C-body's solid doors is a custom leather interior. Tall bucket seats join a factory bench and stretching sturdy RJS harnesses across full power adjustment for the driver and front passenger. In front, the leather-wrapped dash hangs familiar odometer telemetry in a carbon fiber instrument panel. So it doesn't say anything about it being a 70 at first and changed into a 71. So yeah, that's kind of weird. Now the wheels that are actually on this car look good because they have a little bit of a reversed offset on them. As you can see, they dish in a little bit. This one does not, however. And another thing that they lacked on them with this one, they didn't put the go wing on it, and the car in the picture has a go wing. That's kind of strange because they do make the Cuda with the go wing. Actually, I think one or two of ours have the go wing today. So let's get him out and take a look at him. And what I plan on doing with this car is I plan on wheel swapping it. Now, the hood on this one's a little bit hard to get open. I haven't even got it open yet, to be honest with you. Usually I use a piece of like the blister PVC plastic and slide down in the gap and try to pop it open. I'm not sure if this one's screwed down because of it being a modern Hemi or what the deal is with that. And I don't know why they didn't leave fuel injection. I would have. If I was going to put a modern Hemi in the car, I definitely would have opted for the fuel injection and the coil pack ignition and all of that stuff. It's just a little bit more efficient and reliable. But anyways, these wheels look like Corvette wheels. They probably are. They probably took them off their like C5 or C6 Corvette and put them on this car. But anyways, it looks good. I love the paint. As I said, it's like a B5 blue metallic. And the black billboards look cool and such. Detailed tail lights and your Cuda logo back there, and the exhaust tips, the exhaust cutouts in the rear valence. Very cool looking car. I would have liked to have seen it with the Go Wing. I'm not sure why they didn't put the Go Wing on it. It's kind of odd since it had one on it, and they do have that as an option. But anyways, the car is a sweet piece. As I said, it's a good contender, or candidate, I should say, for the wheel swap. So anyways, I'll eventually find something that has stock Mopar rallies on it and put them on the car, or find a set of still rims and put on it, something like that. So now moving on to the second 1970, which actually it's our only 1970 since we can plainly see that that's a 71. All right, so anyways, here is the 70 from your vintage ad series, and it is I'm just trying to see. Yeah, the other ones are there. Okay, so this one's kind of a rare one because it has painted bumpers to match the color of the car, and also the shaker is color matched too. That doesn't usually happen too often. Usually it's in the like pewter, like gray color or black, mostly black, but sometimes you'll see it in that grayish silver color. And then the color match ones though are a rarity to find. So this is the original 1970, and it says it has the original ad, and it says our 1970 Barracuda are totally new, from the plush Barracuda Grand Coupe to the tough little Cuda with the Hemi engine. The Hemi Cuda with the quivering cold air grabber poking through the hood, so the 426 cubes below can breathe easy. Very possibly this is the fastest production car in the country. If you had something gentler but equally sporty in mind, we also make Barracuda and the Barracuda Grand Coupe. So remember, the name, New People, Barracuda, it's all yours. So, hello, new people. We have a new car for you. Plymouth makes it. So, anyways, let's get this guy out and take a look at him. And this one, as I said, is a cool one because of the paint combo on it. Having the color matched air grabber, which we don't see too often. And that's how the original Hemi Cuda was written on a 70. And then that's what they were saying on this one. It has the more modernized Hemi logo, as you can see there, compared to the old school one. And this one has the color match bumpers, which are pretty cool. I like when they do the front ones on the GTX and Charger, but most of the time it's a package thing, and you have the painted rear bumper too. I guess because it gives me like nostalgia of like a GTO or something. I've had a few 68 and 69s with the Endura bumper, the painted front bumpers, and well, they all have that. And the GTXs and Chargers kind of remind me that the 71s when they have that painted option. But I think theirs are still painted, still meaning metal, and they're painted. The GTO one was actually a rubber bumper, and they had that option for the 69 Camaro too, and it was, I think, also a rubber front bumper you could get on the 69 Camaro. But anyways, yeah, this thing looks really good. It's just very sporty looking, and it just looks more, I don't know, aerodynamic and such because of everything being one color, like a monochromatic look, besides the trim around the windows. So very cool looking car. Now this one, the hood opens with ease. That other one does not. As you can see, the orange painted engine with the Hemi valve covers, they're still a little narrow, but you get the idea. They're trying to show that it's a Hemi, but they are narrow for Hemi valve covers. It looks more like a wedge. But anyways, It's a nice try. And you got your detailed hood pins there, detailed tail lights once again, like the other one, and your exhaust cutouts with the Cuda emblem. Now, the tail lights in this one are kind of more modernized. I guess that's another thing that you could say on that one, but the 70 is a little different than the 71s. I'll wait till we get a 71 out here to kind of do a comparison. So we'll go with our oldest 71, and this is a kind of a rare piece. You don't see them every day. This is the 2007 Hot August Nights Reno, the biggest little hot rods in the world, and this is the 71 426 Plymouth Hemi Cuda in yellow, and it comes with the collector coin Hot August Nights 71 426 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. And also they have the tires with a red line, and it has Han, H-A-N, which is Hot August Nights 2007. And then the other one, it just says 21/11. So I'm not sure what that is for. But anyways, it's a cool car. And they got a nice big print on the back with the Hot August Nights 21 and still not acting our age and such. So it's been around for a while. I'm not sure if they're still doing it because I don't see any recent releases of the Hot August Nights from Greenlight. But let's go ahead and get the car out and take a look at it. And let's see. I guess even these look that way. There's no real detail on them there, but you can see how the tail lights are. On the 71, it's got lines through, or I mean on the 70, it's got lines through it, and it's one piece, whereas the 71s are two pieces. Your backup and the tail light itself are separated from one another, the way the bezel's made. So even the plate on this one has the vanity plate saying HAN 07. So that's cool. Now, I'll show you what I did, because I like the red line tires with the Magnums if that would have been it, but I don't like the white lettering stating the date of the event. So I flipped mine on this side to the black walls, and I think it looks much better. That's just my opinion. And they do have the lettering on the car, though, Hot August Nights. I wish they wouldn't have done that, but it is an event car, so I mean, it is what it is. But I was looking for a nice yellow Hemi Cuda, and this is what I found for a reasonable price, so I'll have to deal with that. I probably could take some nail polish remover and get that off, but I'll just leave it alone. But I am going to flip these other two tires to the black walls. It's pretty easy. I mean, you just peel the tire off like so and flip it back over. And you got the black wall. And I've had them on the black walls for a while. I just flipped these two back over before the video. So, and before I took the picture for the thumbnail, that way you guys could see what it looked like when I got it, how it comes in the package. If you guys happen to come across one in the wild there in like some diecast show or something, they will have the red lines pointing out. But I like the black wall with no lettering. Red lines are cool. It's just they have white lettering for the event date and stuff I'm not big into. And this one also has the opening hood, which opens easy once again. And you can see it's got the Hemi valve covers, but they are quite narrow. Greenlight had some issues with their scaling of engines. They didn't do too well with their Mopars. Their Plymouth B-bodies, they did a great job with. The Dodge B-bodies, it's way too small. The E-body Cuda is nice, but the valve covers are too narrow. So anyways, last but not least, this is probably my favorite of the group, and it is from GL Muscle Series 14, and it is a Plum Crazy Cuda with a white interior and white billboards. Oh, it's not a Hemi Cuda. It's a 383 Cuda. How did that happen? Huh, that's weird. I thought it was a... No, I got the wrong Cuda. Sorry, guys. Hold on a second. Since I will swap that Cuda, I can't tell it from the other one. That's why it was like 383. That ain't right. This one's actually from the GL muscle car garage, and it had the white 5 spokes on it. It was the custom version. And anyways, there it is. But this is the car that was supposed to be in there right here. It's Plum Crazy, but it has a black interior and black billboards and no window louver. So close to being the same car, just a little bit different. Different engine, drivetrain, and such. And the purple's a little different because that's not a factory Plum Crazy. This is supposed to be. So on the back side, it just tells us a little bit about the 71 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. The new grille of the 71 gave the appearance of the car having teeth like a Barracuda. And on the performance Cuda model, chrome simulated inserted fender louvers suggested gills. The standard engine was a 383 4-barrel, and optional were a 440 and the legendary 426 Hemi. The 440 and Hemi cars had upgraded suspension components to help with the increase in horsepower and torque. So let's get that one back out and take a look at it. And I put it back in there real quick so you guys can see what it came, how it looked when I got it. So there you go. You got the Hemi logo there again. Kind of hard to see on the purple, the black billboards, the chrome Mopar rallies, the fender gills, and once again, detailed tail panel, and you have your go wane. Yeah, both of these had go wanes. That's why I'm surprised they didn't put one on that, since the real version does have a wane. It doesn't look, in the picture, it didn't really look too much like the factory go wane, but it looks like a aftermarket style spoiler, but it looked pretty good though, and they could have put a go wane on it to get it a little more, I know, accurate. But there you go. Once again, under the hood with the big Hemi with the valve covers that are too narrow, but that's okay. So very cool car. I do like my Cudas and such. I'm more of a B body guy, but the Cudas are cool and the A bodies are cool. Heck, even the C bodies and F bodies are cool from the 70s. So anyways, guys, that's all we have for our Mopar Monday. We'll be back again on Wednesday with some more lowriders. We're going to be doing a lot of lowrider stuff over the next week or two. So we'll be cracking open a few more Revell lowriders on Wednesday. So be sure to tune in for that. Turn on your notification bell if you have not done so yet, so you know when we do drop a video, because we do a lot of spontaneous videos. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching and enjoy the start of your week, and we'll see you again on Hump Day.